Hello everyone, welcome once again to another Power BI related tutorial by Team Slidesco. In this part, you are learning how to connect Power BI with a SQL Server dataset. And after connecting with that SQL Server dataset, we will learn how to create a dashboard like this. It's a very simple dashboard where we have interactive filters like product name. You can see data of a particular product. You can select customer's country and see its information. You can select one or two different suppliers and compare sales by them, and basically categories are there like for beverages and dairy products what are different sales values, and everything that you see here will be configured accordingly. So this is something that we are going to learn. The data set that we have is stored in SQL Server Management Studio. Like we are connecting with SQL Server Management Studio in a server that is our local server, but it can be connected in a real server also, like on on a web server also. So how will we connect that is something that we are going to discuss. So let's get started with it. So the first thing that we must have is SQL Server Management Studio. SQL Server Management Studio will help us in connecting with databases. These databases can be hosted in our computer, like you can see it is running on this particular server, or it may be hosted on an actual server or a cloud server somewhere. So this server name that we have here, this server name can be some kind of data like server.hostname.com, some kind of IP address. I'm just writing IP address of localhost, but it can be this. You will need to put username and password and a database name. So once you will enter these details in your SQL server, it will open. What we have done here is we have two tools installed. One is SQL Server Express. So SQL Server Express has different versions. You can install any one of them, and other is SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, so you have to install these two tools. SQL Server Express will actually install the server where you can create SQL Server databases, and SQL Server Management Studio will help you in connecting with databases. Now there are two cases because we are considering this for Power BI. So the company may give you these credentials. The company for which you are creating the database may give you these credentials. So you have to understand. So in that case, you will just need SQL Server Management Studio to connect with that database and to see what tables are there in those tables, what columns are there. And if you will select search color stack Northwind ER diagram, you will actually see this ER diagram because the database that we are connecting in this tutorial is Northwind database. Northwind is a sample trading company. This trading company has orders, so you can see like this. So this trading company has suppliers supplying different products to customers, and these products are ordered by customers. Okay, when customer will place this order, some employee will handle that order, and actually a shipper is going to supply this to the customer. Orders, the information of these orders are stored in order details table. So you must have this order details table. Okay, so this is the information, and the complete diagram is given here. I will provide this URL also, so you can go to this URL and see how different tables are linked with each other. So in employees table, what columns do we have, how they are linked. In orders table, what columns do we have, how they are linked, and so on. So these are the 8 main tables that we have to connect, and this is actually something that you will see in the data model as well, that will be created in Power BI. Next thing is, once you have logged into SQL Server Management Studio, you will see different databases. So like here we have different databases. This is our local database. We have the Northwind database, and in this database we have all these tables. So categories, customers, employees, order details, orders, product, shippers, and suppliers. These are the 8 tables. So you can take a screenshot of that diagram and select and keep it on one side while creating the connections. If I select top 1000 rows from SQL Server of this database or this table, so you will be seeing that this is how data is given. So here, for example, supplier ID is given. This is master table for supplier. In order details table, we have product ID and order ID. This product ID information is given in the product table. So here product ID, product name. So this product is linked to supplier via supplier ID, and this product is linked to categories via category ID. If you will select categories, these are the 8 different categories. So like this is the connection. I know this can be overwhelming for the first time, but when you will have this database, you will install something, you will be able to connect. So how to install this database, how to create your first table, this is all something that we have already discussed. And so for example, this is a GitHub repository created by, you can see it is Microsoft SQL Server samples. So created by some user, and here you have installed win.sql. So from here you can see the raw SQL data. So you can see this is going to create the database for you, like create table employees, create table categories, and so on. So I will provide this URL to you. All you have to do is installed SQL Server Management Studio, install SQL Server Express, then connect SQL Server Express with SQL Server Management Studio with your credentials, and then you can create a database. So for example, we have this database. I am going to create one for you. So you will create a new database, name it anything. Let's say NW. I'm naming it as NW2. You can name it anything, and we will simply click OK. NW2 will be created. You will see there are no tables because we have just created this. In this database, we are going to run new query. Important thing is here we have NW2. When you will run this query, so paste it, select all, and execute. Command executed successfully, reload, and now you will see all the tables. So this is how you will install a database. So I will provide this command to you, this SQL file, which you can use in your projects. Now, once this is done, you will open Power BI desktop, and in Power BI desktop, it you have different type of connectors. So not some uncertified connectors. This is just an experiment. But here you have connections like import data from SQL Server database. So in your get data, search for SQL Server and mention the name of your server, which will be there at the time of installation, right? So that server name will be copied at the time of installation, or it will be provided to you by your server administrator, or you can right click properties, and from here you can copy the name of your server instance, because in my case it is local, and this is what I will enter here. Database name I just created at W2. I will click OK, and you can see it is connected. If it is an external database, it may be asking you for ID and password, username and password. It may ask that, so you have to enter that. And from here you can select these tables like category, customers, employees, orders, order detail, product, shipper, supplier. So we have to connect these 8 tables because this is the diagram that I have created actually, and this is the diagram where I'm going to teach. I'm going to create a series of videos. I have many questions with me, 50 Northwind questions. So these 50 Northwind questions, although they are for SQL, but they will help you in Power BI also, because a lot of different things will be needed to solve them in Power BI. And then I will create some dedicated questions for Power BI. So now after connecting them, just load, and once you will load, it will create the connections and it will be saved like this. Okay, so this is the first part that we have to do. After this, save your work, like save your file somewhere. I have saved it as northwind.powerbi. So you have to save it, and so like here you can see it is created. Once it is saved, you can see in your model view that model will automatically be created, and you will see everything here. Okay, so this is what you have to do first. I'm not going to repeat this because I have already done that, but this is something you have to do. Next, we will create another table, and that table will be measures table. So right click or just go to modeling tab, create a new table, and that is called measures table, because I'm going to store all my measures here, whatever I'm going to create. Another thing, if you will see tables, so in our tables we have categories, we have category ID, category name, description, customers, all the information of these customers like, along with their city, region, etc. We have employee, same details of these employees. Then important table for us is order details. In the order details table, because if you will select directly from here, so in the order details table, if you will select top 1000 rows, you will see we have unit price and quantity. So here what we have done is we have created a new calculated column which is sales. So you will just right click here, new column, call it sales. So it will be order details unit price. So one column, then multiplication operator, order details quantity, and for every row it is going to multiply it by unit price and create sales. Later we can create another column to find out sales after discount. So it is maybe 0.25 discount or 25%. So after confirming that, you can decide. So right now we have only created sales. Similarly, in our measures table, you will right click and create new measure, and the first measure that we have created is average sales. So now because in our order details table our main column sales is created, so we will use average function, and in average function you have to select the column name, that is sales. So this will create average sales. But if you have to find out average sales per customer, so what we are doing is we are using total sales, that is sum of order detail sales, and simply dividing it by total number of customers. So distinct count is a function where you will put a column name, and that column name is customer ID, because in customer ID we actually have unique ID of each customer. So if we will use distinct count customer ID, it will find what is the total number of customers, what is total sales. So this way it will kind of divide total sales by customer and find that. So similarly, if you want to find total sales by employee, and these kind of things can be done. Now, so after creating them, these are the only things that we have created. So you will simply insert a text box. This is just a simple text box. Go to insert and insert a text box and write your text here. So what we have written is sales analysis Power BI SQL Server Dataset connection, because it is just for tutorial. But you will actually write something like trading company sales analysis. So let me create a new page, insert and text box, and you will write something like trading company sales analysis or global trading company sales analysis. You have to write. Then you can arrange it wherever you like it. And for example, if I have to create a sidebar here, so I'm going to use this much space. Sidebar is basically used for filter, which I'm just going to explain. Then select your text, font size 28, make it bold, align it to center, select a color from your theme. By the way, theme can be selected from here in your view. Select your favorite theme. Like for example, I have selected this one. Current theme is executive theme. So you can select anyone here. And then here is your format. So when you will select any visual, here are effects. We can enable shadow. We can enable visual border. So this will create a 3D effect. Then we are simply going to insert another shape. That shape is a rectangular shape, and I will put it in here and arrange it. This is what I am going to use for my filters. Here we will go to image and select some image. So I have a transparent image, so you can select that. So I am going to insert this transparent image here, and you can now insert that. So this is how you are going to create your sidebar. Now one by one we will create visuals. So let's now see here. So this is a KPI visual. This is created using card. So let me show you how to create one. So here you will add card, resize and reposition as per your liking. And after resizing and repositioning, you will just go to your order detail table and select sales here. So whatever sales value is, its sum will come. Then for this visual, go to callout value 35 as size, select a color. You can make it bold. This is category label. So you can select a category label from here like this, make it bold. For this also we can go and enable shadow in effects. This is how you are going to create one card. Copy. So click home, copy, paste. Another copy of it, and now you can add any other measure here. For example, total quantity, then paste. We want to see how many orders are there, so we can write count of order ID. So this is how you can create these KPIs. Similarly, we can create another copy. If you want to see how many customers are there, then distinct count of customer ID. If you want to see, so distinct count. If you want to see how many any other things are there, so you can create this KPI. So what I have created is sum of sales, total quantity, number of customers. I have also created number of products and average sales that we just created. So this is KPI. Next is to prepare a chart to show sum of sales by date. So date can be found in orders table. So from here you will create a line chart. So you can reposition the line chart anywhere, and for your line chart on x-axis you will select order date. Let's say this time I actually want order date wise sales. So order date, and then say total sales is already in this column. So this will show us. What it will do by default is it is going to show 3 years that are there in data, summarize it, then we can click here to show it by year and quarter, year, quarter and month, year, quarter, month and day. You can go up if you want to show by month only or quarter only, you can select from here. Okay, whatever is your preferred unit you can select. You can also convert it to area chart, and this is title. So you can go to general tab, title, text color, you can select something from the palette, make it bold, align it to center. If you want, you can increase the size. For our chart also, we will go to effect and enable shadow. This is sales, sum of sales by quarter, copy. So now it starts your analysis. Whatever questions are asked, you will answer them one by one. So now what we have done is, this is sales by product name. So sales will be common because sales is something that we are analyzing here. So we'll keep sales on the x-axis, and the type of chart that we have is clustered bar chart. In clustered bar chart, we are going to keep product name on y-axis. So it will create a graph like this. Suppose you want to show the data also, so you can enable the data labels. So it will show the number also. So this is sum of sales by product name with the help of a clustered bar chart. Similarly, this is a stacked column chart because we are not using the second measure. So these are either column or bar charts, vertical or horizontal bars. This is sum of sales by category name. So every product, as you saw, belongs to some category. So from categories table, we are going to select category name. In y-axis, sum of sales. This is sum of sales by category name. From here you can rename also. For example, you can say total sales. So that will be total sales by category name. Next, because this is supplier basically, so we want to see supplier wise total sales also, like because they are supplying products and products are being sold. So here instead of company name, we will write suppliers. So sum of sales by suppliers, and instead of sum of sales, we are going to write total sales or sales. The chart that we have selected is tree map, because if you will see suppliers table, in suppliers table you can see we have around 29 different values. So in a tree map, on the basis of the category, so whatever data you will fill in category, on the basis of that and whatever data you will put in values, it will create a tree like structure. This particular value will have the highest sales because it has the highest area. Rectangular shapes are, and their area basically represents the value. So for example, here for this supplier, refresh pose, total sales is lowest, and for this supplier it is highest. Then comes this, and so on. If you actually want to see these values, as I told you, in every chart we have option to enable data labels. Then we have sales by country. This is a tricky chart, so let me show you how to create one. Field map you will create. In field map we will put country name on location, and this is basically customer's country. So from which customer's country do we have maximum sales? So it will automatically color all the countries that are there. Then in your tooltips you will put your number, whatever number you have to analyze. So we have to analyze sales here. This is something we have done in previous examples also. Then you will go to fill color in visual settings and select effects. Here you will select gradient, and instead of count of country you will select sales value. So basically, if sum of sales is low, it will show by this color. If it is high, it will show by this color. What if we say if sales value is low, we will show by this color. It is high, we will show by this color, and add a middle color. So that middle color can be a yellow color. This is our gradient on the basis of sales value. And now once you will create, you will see actually countries where sales value is in mid range, like Brazil, you can see yellow color. Where sales values are high, green color, USA. In Canada, it is in the range of red. So this is basically you will see, and this is how we have created that chart. Now once this gradient is created, you can copy the gradiented chart, or the chart which actually has gradients. And remember, this gradient is actually created with sum of sales. Now we will convert it into a funnel chart. In funnel chart, you can see in values we have to select sales. So we'll select sales, and now this is showing country wise sales. And instead of country, we are going to bring the customer name. And this is customer name, contact name. Now we will click here, and contact name is all. Instead of that, we will select top n. We'll select top 10 by value. So that value will be sales. So we are seeing top 10 customers by total sales value. So here you will put and apply. So that particular gradient will be copied here. Okay. If sales value is in the mid range, you can see yellow, lower range, purple color, high range, green color. So this is what is done here. So here you can go and actually, for example, here in your fill colors, we can actually select. So here, because these two colors are coming as same, so we can select another color, and then we can decide. And we can copy the same formatting here and apply. So now this will be on the basis of that. So this is a simple dashboard. Next is creating filter. Let me create one and show it to you. So you have slicer. These slicers will act as your filters to give users an interactive option. Here we are going to select, for example, country. Then you will go slicer setting, drop down. So now user can select any country. So this is what we have done. We have put category name, product name, supplier name. So this is supplier's company name, but we have renamed it as supplier name. This is full name, employee's full name. Now here we have to learn something. So we will just use employee. In the data set, employee name is not given as a full name. Employee name is either given as last name or first name. Like last name and first name are given. So we have created a calculated column here. That calculated column is called as full name, and we are using concatenate function. Concatenate function will take text 1 and text 2 and join them. So text 1 is first name and text 2. Now we are using another concatenate because we have to put a space between their name. So we are concatenating a space value with last name, and then we are concatenating this value with the first name. So it will create it like that. So that's what we have put as filter, and this is customer city and customer country, because supplier also has a city, employee also has a city. So you have to be specific which city is it. So this is how this dashboard is created. For your canvas, you can select any type of background. You can go to canvas background, select some color, Let's say we are selecting this one. This way a background color will be created. And now you can arrange your visuals and create this. This is part 1, a basic uh, part where we have just introduced how to connect with SQL Server and connect. In the next part, we will see examples of drill through features. We will see examples of uh, how can we apply, or we will create many measures, because as I told you, these are the 50 questions that we have to solve. For many of them, measures will be needed. To answer many questions, related table concept will be used like related columns. So everything, there is great deal of learning. Like, it's an exciting project, like a very basic project, but for beginners it will be very helpful to understand how to actually perform analysis on a live data set. By live, I mean currently, yes, we have created this table, but it can be something where live transactions are going on. We can connect with live data set. So we are going to show that as well. So please subscribe to our channel. If you have any suggestions or questions, ask them in the comment section, and then we can discuss. If you want to learn Power BI from scratch, we provide live online Power BI classes, live online data analysis classes. You can connect with us for free demo classes. Thanks for watching this. Have a nice day.